We have to be there to each other so we can forget one another. How did we get here? Thought that you were gone, but you're still near. I keep on thinking about we had more, thinking you're never gonna come back home. How did we get so cold, baby? So you crossed the street, you didn't know. We didn't speak and we're not going to, 'cause it's just me from now on, no more you. 'Cause we know that now it's out of our hands. We've done what we done, we can. No, I'm not gonna look back. We have to be there to each other, put flowers on our graves so we can forget one another. Things will never be the same. Pretend like we never met and welcoming the change, 'cause we couldn't make it better. Thought we had it all of the red flags that we ignored. I was convincing myself you were right, but it's never too late to say goodbye. Dime que ya no estás, que no me escribirás. Sabes que esto se acaba aquí, se acaba aquí, se acaba aquí. Ahora voy en busca de mi felicidad. No podía mentirme a mí, sabes que es mejor así, yeah. 'Cause we know that now is out of our hands. We've done what we can. No, I'm not gonna look back. It's been months and now you're no longer over my head. I feel lighter again, and I'm never going back. We have to be there to each other, put flowers on our graves so we can forget one another. Things will never be the same. Pretending like we never met and welcoming the change, 'cause we couldn't make it better. We have to be there to each other, flowers on the grave so we can forget one another. Things will never be the same. Pretending like we never met and welcoming the change, 'cause we couldn't make it better. Dead to you, dead to me, hey. Que todo te vaya bien, que todo te vaya bien. Dead to you, dead to me, que todo te vaya bien.
And thank you very much for your performance, and welcome to Live in Sydney. How you going?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is great. So happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for your performance. Your voice is awesome. I feel like it's like sort of got this poppy and also soul like transition. I don't know even know what to think about it. It's cool. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to the show. Now let's get straight into it. Tell me about yourself. Who are you? Who is Ange?
I'm not sure, not yet. Ange is a singer, songwriter, producer, creative person, originally from Barcelona, from Spain, and I've been living here in Sydney for around 6 years now, and just pursuing my dreams, basically.
Pursuing your dreams. That's awesome. That's cool. I like it. Cool. And don't worry, who really actually knows who they are, right? That's just the thing we put on the front there.
Exactly, especially this year.
Yeah, I know. It's a really self-discovery thing, isn't it?
Totally, yeah.
How did you get into music, Ange?
It was very organic. Like I always liked music since I was young. My dad used to play lots of records at home, and I was always listening to the radio, recording songs in my cassettes, and just, was really I just loved music, and slowly started to sing, in my bedroom. It took me a long time to tell my parents and for them to find out that I really like singing.
Yeah.
And then I just started like singing in cover bands and just trying to, just put, music out there with like friends and like at school. And I ended up here.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Did you find it? So you mentioned a little bit about how it was like to tell your parents. Did you find that hard? Was that something that was unusually hard to do?
I think I was just a bit shy.
Yeah.
Like I remember I used to watch these like TV shows of, kids that would go and like sing and I secretly always wanted to do it, but I wasn't brave enough or like, I wasn't sure. And and I slowly I was a bit shy and I used to sing in my room until I feel like my parents I think realized and they bought me a microphone.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard to tell them, but it was one of those things like I wasn't sure what music was or why I wanted to do it. Or
Is this something you sort of felt? You're like, yeah, this feels good when I do it, but I'm like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's all right. Well, I mean, as long as it's turned out fine, and look, here you are pursuing your dreams now.
Yeah, things take time sometimes, especially when you're a kid. Like you like to do things, but obviously thinking about music as a career is a very different thing. You might like to sing or to play a sport, but thinking of it as that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I guess it's a big step, and sometimes it takes time.
Yeah.
To like realize, but yeah, sometimes you need that time, and I'm glad that I found out that's what I wanted.
How did you know that you wanted to go into music professionally? How did you know that you wanted to make that your career?
Well, it's just something that I really like doing, and I can do it every day, and that's also bad because you end up like doing it all the time and no boundaries, no breaks. I don't know. Nothing makes me feel like music. When I sing, when I create, I feel like it's like meditating. It's like being in this really magical, unique place, and nothing else does that to me. And it's something that I can do all the time.
That's an awesome feeling.
And I guess I'm like, well, if I have this passion, why would I do something else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why would you ever want to, right?
Yeah.
You just take it and go, I'm going to stick to this for as long as it makes me feel good, for as long as that is what I want. That's awesome. How long ago did you realize that? Was it when you were younger, or was it just you just found out about that passion?
No, I guess maybe in the past like 4 years, that's when I was like, no, I need to make these happen because things don't come to you. You need to decide this is what I'm going to do. And that's when you realize, I guess, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I guess it's been recent, the past 4 years, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to go all in.
Yeah.
And so it's a journey of discovery. So deep, but
It definitely is. Okay. Well, moving away from the deep and meaningful, what are some of your musical achievements? What have you done that you've been proud of?
Quitting my job to make music. And I guess having a lot of direction in my art. I really like being really involved in all I do from the beginning, starting with the beat, then putting ideas together for the video. I really like to connect all those parts and be involved in the whole process. Of course, finding people that can help me because trying to do everything yourself is also not good sometimes.
It's also not as fun sometimes as well, right?
Yeah, but for me, it's like it's all connected, the song, the video, like all the things that are a part of a campaign or like when you put something out, it's all connected and all has meaning.
Yeah.
So I guess having that energy to be involved in all of that and doing it, can be hard.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I'm proud of that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Who are your musical influences? Because I know that like the way you sound, again with the soul and sort of like R&B-esque sort of thing. Is that right? Who influences you to be like that? Where's that come from?
Wow, it's one of those questions like I always struggle to answer because I feel like everything that I have listened to in my life has made the way I am and the music I make. Yeah. But I love soul music. My dad used to play a lot of funk music, and I used to listen to a mix of like Stevie Wonder, and like he used to play a lot of like Aretha as well, Boney M, like a lot of different kind of artists. And then I started listening to more pop artists, like Christina Aguilera and
Britney, and then later on I also discovered Erykah Badu and more like contemporary R&B artists. Santana, my dad used to play a lot, so that was that Latin kind of influence as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, a mix of all those things, I guess, but a lot of soul music and funk music. And I guess pop as well, obviously.
Yeah. Of course, you can't really steer clear from it. Hey,
can't get away. No.
well, that's good. We're going to hear some more of your music now. So, what is this next song you're going to be playing for us?
The next song I'm going to play is ¿Qué pasó? It's a single that I released with La Malo, which is a duo of producers from Sydney. And it's one of my most like dancey songs, and it's interesting to play it in acoustic, so I hope people like it.
Dime que te acuerdas, dime si todavía piensas en lo que fue y en los minutos que pasamos juntos. Ya no consigo entender qué fue lo que te cambió a ti, amor. ¿Qué es lo que pasó? Well, we could keep up. Well, we could be fine. Well, we could not fight. Well, we could because you wouldn't because you wouldn't because you wouldn't because I know that you're gone, yeah. Still thinking where you left, wonder where you've been. I guess you were right for me. Y ahora no consigo entender qué fue lo que te cambió a ti, amor. ¿Qué es lo que pasó? Well, we could keep up. Well, we could be fine. Well, we could not fight. Well, we could because couldn't not fight. Could be fine. Cause you wouldn't because you wouldn't because you wouldn't because you wouldn't because oh you wouldn't because no you wouldn't because you wouldn't because you wouldn't because
Angie, thank you very much for that song. So, ¿Qué pasó? Is that what it is?
Yeah, ¿qué pasó? What happened? It means what happened.
Okay, cool.
In English.
I enjoy listening to the Spanish songs and stuff like that. Well, I wish I understood the language, because we have a bunch of people come on that speak Spanish, and then they have Spanish in their songs, and I'm like, wow, you sound awesome, but I have no idea what you're saying. It is brilliant. Thank you very much for performing that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get to know you a little bit more, and I want to start out with, how do you write your music? Because again, it's of a different perspective, right? You've got two languages there that you're integrating into one song. How do you write it?
Yeah, every song is different, but I usually like to start with some chords. I play a little bit of piano, so I either like sit on the piano, start with some chords, and then maybe like I start with some lyrics, or I just start jamming. I love also sometimes when I have a beat that someone sends me, I just play it, and as I hear it for the first time, I like to record my ideas. And then a lot of the times I write melodies and then I find lyrics that suit the melody.
Yeah.
And for the Spanish and the English, I really love writing with both because I write differently. If I start writing in Spanish, then the melodies come different because of the rhythm. So it's like a different musical instrument, but it's a language. So,
Yeah, that's fair. Do you find it hard or do you find it easy to write in both languages?
to be honest, in English is a little bit harder because I feel a little bit limited sometimes with my vocabulary, or I want to say something and I just don't know how.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. So usually I go, oh, I'll try and say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then
Because
I end
Spanish
up,
is your
like,
first language, right?
with a song with like two.
Yeah.
Yes, Spanish is my first language. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it sort of works out like that. Like it's you'll go into the English things. And you're like, oh, okay, I really don't know how to describe myself. I would describe how I'm feeling in this instance, right? So where do your influences for the song come from? Like, is it do you put yourself into another person's shoes, or is it all your own personal experiences?
Yeah, a lot of the times it ends up being my experiences, but lately I've been like trying to write from that different angle of like someone else's experience, someone else's thing. But yeah, usually it's me. And a lot of the times the concepts come after. Like I start a song and then I try and connect to the song, like what is this song like telling me? Or like what is the feeling?
Yeah.
And then I find the concept that works. Because I feel like it needs to kind of align, you know, if it's a happy song, it feels like a happy song, then I find a theme that kind of works with that. But I don't think that much about it.
Okay.
You know, like I just do it, and then when it comes out, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's more organic and spontaneous.
Just flows, right?
Yeah. Totally.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So you've wrote plenty of songs and you performed a bunch as well, right? So what is the funniest or weirdest thing that has happened to you during a performance?
That's really hard. I mean, once I did a gig in Sydney in this bar, and people were getting really crazy. And then right after I finished, these random guy just picked me up, like, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was just kind of going with it, but also I was like, this is pretty strange.
Yeah.
And he was huge. So I was just really just wanting to, you know, get back down on the floor.
Yeah.
But that's probably the weirdest thing that has happened. Like right after we finished like a gig, and it was like a pretty late gig, so you would understand why people were being a bit crazy.
They're all a little bit on the drink.
So that's probably the craziest that has happened to me.
Yeah, right.
Being picked up by a random person.
Yeah, I can imagine. Was this a big gig, or is it just like a small one?
It was like not super big. It was a small kind of cocktail bar.
Yeah.
So the place was really, really fun, but there wasn't really a stage, so it was very much, you know, like on the ground and like, people everywhere, and like it was fun until that happened. Yeah. But it's okay.
Everything was okay afterwards.
It was fine. Yes, I
Just got a little bit out of hand. Well, fair enough for that. That is definitely very weird. That's definitely weird. Okay, so what are you working on next?
Next, I'm working on an EP. I want to release an EP next year. So I'm writing a lot of songs and trying to finish things, and deciding what I'll release next. So
fair enough.
That's
exciting. Do you have all these songs like already in the bank, or are we making songs for the EP already?
I have songs, and I just want to try and find like a bit of meaning, you know, for the project, and then find the things that match. So I guess both. I have some songs and I'm writing more, and we will see what happens. Yeah,
just a good old mix. And that's next year?
Yes.
You don't have a specific date, but it's definitely next year, right?
Definitely next year.
Yep.
I don't have a date yet, but I'm going to say, should I say a date? No.
Not if you don't know. Then you need to hype everyone up.
Let's say around halfway next year.
Okay. All right. Cool. And you also mentioned as well, you have like a gig, is it as well?
Yes. We're playing. Yes, I'm playing the 20th, I think it is, of December. It's a Sunday at the Soda Factory in Sydney. So yes, you're all invited to come along, and anyone watching this too.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, for those that do want a little bit more information, what is your social media? Where can we find you? Where can we find the deets about that gig?
Yeah, so my social media is Ange Music A. So instead of in Spanish, music is música.
Okay.
So you just got to add the A at the end.
the
So
A, yeah.
Ange Música in all the social medias, and you'll be able to find me.
Easy as. Cool. Well, thank you very much for that. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we're going to get into another one of your songs. So what is this next song you're going to be playing for us?
This last song is called Take Me Back. And it's a song that I wrote with Sumatra, which is a duo of producers from Sydney. And it's a summery song. I really love it. It talks about like a summer love, like when you connect with someone without knowing each other and you look at each other and you're like, ooh, there's something here. So that's what it's about. So it's pretty current considering it's almost summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope people like it.
Te veo, tú me miras, ya sé que quieres más. Siento tu corazón a mí volar. No sé cómo hablar. No te vayas a marchar. No sé cómo hablar. Quédate un poco más. Take me back to where you're from, 'cause there's far too much to go. Oh, you make me feel like take me back to where you're from, 'cause there's far too much going